I kind of jumped the gun and was very previous with everything before. But what I do is I have a lot of repetition because I want you guys to acknowledge that these things are super important when installing. So I had mentioned the size of the breaker, right? Also, when we're evaluating a site, we normally take the distance of the foot run for piping purposes. We normally have the signature of the customer to approve, or the approval of the strata, to ensure that when we do that install, that the strata had authorized, because with every development you have a strata. So even though you own your home in the strata, you have to make sure now that your strata gave you an approval and say, hey, you're allowed to install this on our premises, right? What we find is a lot of customers want to go ahead and have us go ahead without the strata's permission, because they say, I own the unit, but it is governed by a strata. So we don't do anything. Once we go into a development or a townhouse or anybody who is renting a property, we need a signed letter or whatever stating that we're allowed to do that install before doing the installation. What you're going to have to do is from here, you always make sure that the strata gives approval for any install. And if you don't get a letter from the strata and the owner wants to give you a letter of approval, do the install. However, you want proof to stay that if that strata comes to you and say, why did you come and put this on my property? Well, I say, I got a signed letter from the owner of the property to say that we are allowed to do this installation. So if it needs to be removed, blah, 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 there's a service charge, and we come and remove it and take it back off the property.
Okay.
Right? But you want to cover yourself because you don't want to do something and then you don't have no documentation on it. So always get some form of documentation from your customers to approve any installation that's going to be done. Next on the list is the agreement, the placement of the unit. I'm sign every time. Most important thing to me too, because what happened is that you put it on the wall right here, and you think it's positioned perfect and it look good and the car can plug in from any angle, and then them come back and say, somebody like it on the wall over there, so. And then now you have to relocate the charger and do all these things, right? At your cost. Or when you finalize and move it now, then come again and say, oh, well, maybe you should put it back there because it look nice right there. So always get a sign approval for where you're placing the device. The next thing is, because we have concrete, we have concrete structures. It's super hard for us to cut the concrete, put the piping in the wall, seal it off back, cement it up, and render off back wall, paint back wall. It's a whole entire process by itself. That kind of job is completely different if we're doing a job like that for a customer. However, a lot of customers will say, based on the cost bracket, to cut the wall, do all of that needs to be done and seal it back, they might say it's too expensive. So they would agree to having us run a pipe or a chunking somewhere along the building line just to be able to run the cables in it for us to connect the device, right? Must get a signed approval for any surface mounted thing that is going to be happening.
Oh, so you can use chunkings?
Yeah, man, you can use chunking. Remember the wires coated? And you can buy quad core wires and use to, which is the wire that comes with the three connect. Well, this is a quad wire. You can buy the whole length of this and run it also. A lot of companies do that. They run just that wire just like that, straight. It have a protective coat and everything already. And there's another one that's insulated too, for like industrial use. So for like
PVC pipe?
you run PVC separate, but it's much thicker coating than that, so it's harder for it to get damaged. As I say, we normally get a sign approval for any wall-mounted, any surface-mounted piping or chunking. All right, guys, that's the end of the presentation. All right. So, all right, guys. So, come over here, guys. Listen. All right. So, because we've been talking about safety so much, right? And what I have realized from being in the field is that a lot of the people in the field, once they leave school, they don't necessarily take safety into account anymore. So them go on the first two jobs, them wear them safety gears, and then after that, them go on no gloves on, no glasses on. You know, I hear a lot of laughing, sound like it's a thing, right? So also, I wore these shoes today because I want to let you know that these are steel toe boots. Yeah. Your own the steel toe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So try to invest in safety shoes. The amount of yeah.
Project E-Drive, they all have
Safety boots.
With that being said, we decided that hey, you know, for start you guys off on your journey, we want to ensure that you guys are safe out there. I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to see no lost fingers and toes. You know, so yeah. So I want to have.
Why am I? No, this is not from me. It's from Portugal.
Come on.
You
I have nothing to do.
Well, she's running. All right, she said she gave you shoes already, so she good. All right, guys. So I'm going to hand out these helmets. Yeah, man.
Oh, we're not like hand off and shake hand. No, no.
Well, I just right now I guess we're just giving them out.
Alright, thanks.
All right, so. All right, so and then separate and apart from that, you guys need to ensure you wear your reflective gears so nobody don't hit you over while you're on the job.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
And also, if you're doing any form of electrical work, you want to protect your hands.
For sure.
So these are rubberized gloves. It doesn't prevent against high voltage. However, it's still good to have for minor. So just in case your hand, yeah.
Thanks. Oh.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome, very welcome, very welcome.
Thank you.
All right, and last but not least, your eyes. I don't know who wear glasses already, but you can still wear them over the glasses. And if, yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Thank you. All right, so let me get you in one picture with you, if you don't mind. Everybody with the safety.
Everybody
gear.
say safety.
Come. So as I said, I made sure to make sure you guys had safety first on the helmet, so always remember.